Hello everybody, welcome back. Yay, here we go. Denise Skinner, I met actually through Rochelle. And when Keith started experiencing all of what was going on with him, they told me about Denise and that she had an ozone machine called the HOCATT, and that we should consider this therapy for Keith. So that's basically how I met her. She is a part of Rochelle's Bible study that she holds in her home on Tuesday nights. We met her there, we exchanged information, and Keith and I made the journey to West Palm. And that's how it all began. So, Denise, there she is.
Can everybody hear me okay? Yes? Yes. All right, wonderful. Well, before we get started and I go through this, I'd actually like everyone to stand up. We're all talking about health, so I think we should do some declarations about health.
All
right, so everybody stand up and just repeat after me. Yeah, since we're all Christians and everything else. I activate the power of God by His Word.
I activate the power of God by His Word.
So I choose to open my mouth and create my world with my words.
So I choose to open my mouth and create my world with my words.
I lay hold on eternal life.
I lay hold on eternal life.
I lay hold of the life of God I received.
I lay hold of the life of God I received.
I lay hold on this victory that I have.
I lay hold on this victory that I have.
I obtain mercy.
I obtain mercy.
I have received abundance of grace.
I have received abundance of grace.
The words of my mouth,
The words of my mouth,
they are spirit and they are life.
they are spirit and they are life.
I am not sick.
I am not sick.
I am not a failure.
I am not a failure.
I cancel every word of death on my life.
I cancel every word of death on my life.
I receive it and I call it null and void.
I receive it and I call it null and void.
It will not have an effect on me or my descendants.
It will not have an effect on me or my descendants.
Death will not have me.
Death will not have me.
My children are growing up to be spiritual giants on this earth.
My children are growing up to be spiritual giants on this earth.
What I lay my hands upon shall prosper.
What I lay my hands upon shall prosper.
I lay my hands on my wallet, myself, my children, my health, and my home.
I lay my hands on myself, my children, my health, and my home.
I believe anything is possible.
I believe anything is possible.
I am rich.
I am rich.
We are blessed in the city and blessed in the field.
We are blessed in the city and blessed in the field.
All the work that we do is blessed.
All the work that we do is blessed.
God has opened His rich treasury to us.
God has opened His rich treasury to us.
I lend to many nations and do not borrow.
I lend to many nations and do not borrow.
I refuse to borrow or beg.
I refuse to borrow or beg.
Everything is working out for my good.
Everything is working out for my good.
Because I love God and I am called according to His purpose.
Because I love God and am called according to His purpose.
I receive exceedingly abundantly above all I can ask, think, or desire.
I receive abundantly above all that I ask or desire.
Hope or dream.
Hope or dream.
According to the power that works within me.
According to the power that works within me.
I am working that power every day.
I am working that power every day.
By praying.
By praying.
I live in abundance.
I live in abundance.
I am lacking in nothing.
I am lacking in nothing.
All my needs are met according to His riches and glory in Christ Jesus.
All my needs are met according to His riches and glory in Christ Jesus.
Right now I am loved by the Most High.
Right now I am loved by the Most High.
Right now I am the head and not the tail.
Right now I am the head and not the tail.
I am above and not beneath.
I am above and not beneath.
I am steadfast,
I am steadfast,
immovable,
immovable,
unshakable,
unshakable,
and always abounding in all things.
and always abounding in all things.
Christ is in me,
Christ is in me,
the hope of glory.
the hope of glory.
I am strengthened with might by the Spirit of God in my inner man.
I am strengthened with might by the Spirit of God in my inner
The
man.
same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead dwells in you.
The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead dwells in
He
me.
lives in you.
He lives in me.
I have the life of God in me.
I have the life of God in me.
I have the power of the Holy Spirit at work in me.
I have the power of the Holy Spirit at work in me.
I live the life of God.
I live the life of God.
All right.
Yes.
Now we're ready. So just to expand on what Stephanie was saying, we met at the Bible study because of what her husband's going through, and my husband has been diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer that's metastasized. So the whole reason we ended up in and on this journey was due to that, okay? But this has been an amazing device because it is not considered a medical device. It is not approved by FDA. I have to do the disclaimers. But it's been a very powerful device to use with Ozone. My husband chose, because of some other, medical conditions called Addison's disease. When we visited the radiation oncologist, basically in so many words, they told us that the radiation treatments would probably, damage more of his adrenal glands, and literally not, the cancer wouldn't have been what kind of took him out. It would have been the radiation of the adrenals. So he said, well, why am I going to do that? So we decided we were going to take a completely natural route to treatment. So he has a naturopath doctor, which in Florida, we know they're not allowed to practice here. So my guy is in Montana, which came out of a alternative cancer hospital in Tijuana, Mexico. So all of our American guys kind of, go over to the border and come back. So anyway, they use this device down there, and that is kind of how we got into this journey. So let me introduce to you the HOCATT, okay? So the slogan is feel great, look great, be great inside and out, because that's basically what it does to you. And then the PEMF mats, which I have on this side. So what that stands for is Hyperthermic Ozone Carbonic Acid Transdermal Technology. So it is a hypothermia. So when you sit in the HOCATT and you start it, you're going to receive carbonic acid, which opens up and dilates all your pores. And then it's going to transfer over into ozone. So once your pores and your vessels are dilated, it transfers that ozone directly into the pores, into the organs. You can do multiple things with it. These are basically 9 modalities that happen in a 30-minute session. So all of these things happen. You end up getting oxygen to breathe. You get the ozone into your whole system, everything from the neck down. And you can have, I've got about 133 different frequency-specific currents. So say you're dealing with acne, cancer, autoimmune, parasites, you name it, there's a frequency where I can put it, dial it into the device itself. It puts that frequency inside the chamber, and you can hold rods and you can put your feet on metal plates, and you'll feel the frequency either coming up your legs or through your arms. So it's a frequency that's dialed in for each, you know, specific, you know, issue that you might have. Okay? Then you get infrared while you're in there. You get photo light therapy. You can use essential oils. Certain citrus ones cannot go inside the HOCATT, they can go on the outside, but some people can be tested for certain specific essential oils that they can use for whatever they're dealing with that seems to you know, work with their system and what they're dealing with, so we can use those inside there, and you can have that happen too. And then there's light therapy while you're in there. And while you're in there also, it helps deal with that UV radiation that we've had, that, you know, we've all had from the sun and tanning beds or anything like that that you've done. So you're able to do basically 9 different modalities in a 30-minute session. This is basically it in a chamber. This is what it looks like. These are all the same modalities that I just went over. And it's just kind of what it looks like. It's kind of spacey looking, which we have out here in the toy hauler that we just transformed into a mobile unit. So then what happens is, as you're doing the session afterwards, I could have had this connected to the HOCATT itself so that this could happen all at the same time, but I chose to make it separate. So I have this over here. I will definitely demonstrate it for you guys. But this is a high intensity PEMF machine, which basically energizes the cells that we have. Our cells, everything is down to a detox and a cellular level. So this can detox you, the HOCATT will detox you, and this can supply energy to those cells and help those good cells work better, okay? And any of the cells that are damaged, it helps eliminate them. So these PEMF mats, some people feel like they want to go to sleep afterwards. You know, Keith has been on them a few times now, and it takes away a lot of pain. If you have chronic pain, the pain definitely will leave. If you have muscle injuries, anything like that, you don't have to have that, but it will help just overall if you do have that with this. So here's Keith on the mats. So it is a cellular energy. It helps with all your inflammation, like full body inflammation. A lot of things that is great about it, because I get energized from being on it. I worked my way up to doing it in the morning and at night. As long as you have an 8-hour period between, you can do it twice a day. But you really kind of want to start slow with it, because it is a detox. So when you're detoxing, and if you haven't detoxed, or even if you've detoxed in the past, I normally start people out really slow on these things, because we just don't know how your body's going to react, and if your body's just going to dump, and we've got to make sure all your detox pathways are open so you can get rid of the stuff you have. So they definitely help with some like anxiety issues. I mean, it's amazing what these devices do. I didn't really go into it until I studied it and got certified on them, but it is pretty amazing what they can do with just what seems very simple. But these are pulsed electromagnetic field, so it's not like EMFs that we've heard about that are bad. This actually has a frequency of sleep, so it will relax you. Even though, like, I got energized the first time on it, it seems like after you've done it a little bit, then it's kind of like it helps your nervous system and everything just kind of calm down and sleep. But One of the things you have to do with any of these is you have to be fully hydrated. You have to make sure you stay hydrated because you definitely don't want to feel stiff. You can feel stiff or anything like that. So I always make sure everybody drinks half their body weight in water before they get on any of these or do any of these. And then I make sure that you're drinking at least 16 ounces of electrolytes before you leave me, and then you want to keep continuing that for at least 2 days after. So they're pretty powerful. This is a video. Did that not work for you? Here's a video of Tony Robbins. They call it the taco shock because in reality that actually shocks your cells.
There are more than 50 hormones that go through your bloodstream, and they control just about everything you can imagine. Hormone imbalances can create all kinds of challenges. They get you low energy, brain, lack of motivation.
Am I in the way? Yeah, you guys skip it.
See those things as well. Or just stress. It's aging, but it's really not. Transformations that people go through to find how to put their optimization of their hormones are quite
While he's getting that, I can tell you another thing that the HOCATT actually helps with hormone balancing, weight loss. There's some more in here I can tell you as I go through. Okay, so this is basically when you get on it, this is what you feel. It's going to start all over.
I took a toothpick.
Okay. Well, let the commercial go through.
In the meantime, yeah.
At least it's
Skip. Skip on this.
It won't let you skip. They get you one time or another, right? Unless you pay for premium YouTube. It's there, but it's not letting them do it.
It's probably what she asked for.
So what we did was we've actually had these devices in a med spa, but because Stephanie was driving for a while, I had people that were coming from the Keys to West Palm Beach, and all of that, we decided we really wanted to take it mobile. So I called the company, asked them was there any issues with taking the devices mobile. They had never had anybody do it, so we literally just did it in these last 2 weeks. So now we're going to be mobile, so we can be in various areas on certain days, so we can service people and service more than, you know, what we were.
Punched in the chest on both sides.
I'm going to throw you on my PEMF machine, which is basically electrocuting you, basically. Not really, but what it does is it charges up the cells so they communicate better, changes the circulation of the body, but it also destroys the weak cells so that they're replaced more quickly.
This is a pulsed electromagnetic field therapy device. These things are generally like $25,000, and they are very effective.
How often do you use it?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day, every day, 5 days a week, 6 days. And when I'm at a seminar, every single day, but usually 5-6 days a week. So now we're going to give you the charge.
Ah, this is exciting.
Yeah, I'm
This may change your life forever. In a good way. And you don't have any metal in your body of any sort? Never. Okay, cool.
Take your retainer out, right?
So I'm going to do it slowly. We're going to work as a team. You tell me when you feel it, even if it doesn't hurt, just tell me when you first feel it, and we'll gradually go up. Okay? All right, rock and roll. Go in there. Okay, just leave that there for a minute.
He's going to turn up a little bit more. You ready for a little more? Okay.
Good there.
So yeah, so now I'm feeling it on my left side of my rib cage.
How's that?
Yeah, now it feels.
I can see your whole body moving.
Yeah, it's gone from like a tickling vibration to kind of like patting on me, like beating slightly.
Does it hurt though, or is it okay? No one's gonna shock you if it gets a little too intense. I take it right to where it's like at the edge is where I take it.
When you're feeling the vibration, that's just the muscles contracting because of electrical impulse.
Okay.
And when you're feeling the pain, that's actually where the body needs it.
He isn't having it high enough up, it's not gonna be breaking up any cells at this level, right?
Wanna bring up some cells? Good there?
Too much? If it's uncomfortable, too uncomfortable, you tell us at any time, we'll turn it down.
It's not the.
Take it down a little
Let's
bit.
take it down. This is really high for the first time, just so you know.
So your whole body is charging up right now, basically.
You're a champ, man. No fear.
Maybe one more.
Okay.
Up or down? Wow.
Well done, Rich.
Done.
Awesome.
Here you go.
Awesome.
Here, brother. Yep. Now notice how you feel.
Feel like a freshly charged iPhone.
That's what I'm talking about.
Good, good.
That's basically what happened to me the first time that I went on it. I had the energy, and you don't really realize it until you don't have the energy that you didn't have that energy. So I'll have to get it back.
You can click it.
Did it click? Okay. Nope, not yet.
Click it here.
So I normally, when I first got on it, you can only go a max of 12 minutes. I did not go 12 minutes. And I started out really low because even though I had over the years detoxed, and been through many detoxes, I wasn't sure how my body was going to react. And nobody knows until you just kind of do it and find out how you are. I normally call everybody afterwards too, at least that night, and find out how are you feeling. And if they're telling me they feel stiff or tired, I tell them to go to bed, but make sure they drink. You have to drink. You have to put the electrolytes back in your body because you're detoxing. So, and you don't want to detox too fast. So, how can the ozone or the HOCATT help you? Well, it's definitely detoxing your body, your full body. Helps with any sports injuries, circulation. It boosts your immune system. Technically, we can't say it cures anything at all, but from the last couple of years, that lovely virus we all had, I have a setting to help with that, long COVID and other things that anybody might have taken during that time. So I ended up with some severe muscle issues after that, and I had a huge buildup of lactic acid for a good solid time. Dr. Glusby and Rochelle both saw me actually come through all that because I ended up losing all of my hair. And when he saw me afterwards, he was like, "You look like you went through chemo." And that's literally what I looked like. All my hair fell out. So I had a really bad long COVID for a long time. And the only thing that actually started finally helping me clear out that lactic acid was getting in this HOCATT. So it's the first time since then. It definitely helps with pain relief. He can attest to that. Skin rejuvenation. It's actually helped. We have a son that has some pretty severe acne going on, facial, back, and all that. And I just put him in there and let him sit in there, and he can't be on his phone for his 30 minutes. But it's actually, clearing things up. His back's clearing up, his chest is clearing up, and even though your head is not in there, it's still detoxing the body, so his face is starting to clear up. We're trying to push all the nutrition on him because these teenage kids, they want sugar, sugar, sugar. It definitely helps with stress reduction. One of the first things that happened with me when I got in it the first time was that all the tension that I carry through my neck and my shoulders and in my back I mean, I didn't realize how bad I was until I actually got out of it and realized I was actually really energized again after that. So for sure on injury recovery, it actually helps. I have part of it where you can cup, if anybody has breast cancer, liver, wounds, I can actually cup it. You can hold a cup that will cup the areas, and you will, it'll help with wound care and everything, and you get direct ozone, and I can actually fluctuate how much ozone you get directed. Like for instance, my husband has the prostate cancer, so his perineum gets cupped with one part of an ozone tubing, and I can direct how much ozone that perineum gets. So I actually treat him now. So, but it's definitely more of an ozone infrared. If you guys have ever been in a regular infrared sauna, it does not get as hot. It will only go up to 106 degrees max. I can make it warmer in there various ways, but sometimes people can't handle it, the heat like that. So we always start everyone out at a basic level and kind of talk through it as you're going through it. I don't leave anybody unattended, just to see how they feel as they're going through it. Like when Keith got in it the first time, I was like, okay, if you can only go 5 minutes, we stop. So every 5 minutes, we're asking him, how you feeling? He closed his eyes, because some people it gets you so relaxed that you kind of want to sleep, and it's okay as long as you're okay. So I have to take your blood pressure beforehand. I put a heart monitor on you. You will have a heart monitor on you when you're in it. And pretty much every 5 minutes, I'm like, Keith, how you feeling? Keith, how you feeling? Do we need to stop? And he'd go, no, I want to go. I want to go. And he made it the first time 30 minutes, and I was surprised. I was like, even if he made 5 minutes, that was better than nothing for him. So, but it's such an immune support and overall health improvement for you. We normally recommend like once a week and do 10 sessions to really see like an overall result. As my husband does it, we do so many sessions, we get blood work because of the situation he's at, but you kind of go by how you feel, how you're feeling, and how you're, if you're feeling better, if you feel more energized. I have a woman that I'm treating with breast cancer. I have another woman that had an abnormal pap smear. For the women, you can actually do a vaginal ozone insufflation while you're in there. And they kind of recommend for women to kind of do that, because you never know. So this woman is in menopause but ended up having a abnormal pap smear. So when she does this, we do that every time. So when she goes back, I'm like, okay, what are they telling you? What's it coming back now? So there's just a lot of different things you can do with it. My brother-in-law actually had some skin cancer on his shin area, and they did a biopsy to confirm it. And then he ended up going in to have it removed, and they sent him home with no pain meds, no nothing, right? And he ends up going home. My sister calls me and says, hey, it's got to be infected. He can't walk. The stitch is busted. I have a picture, but I wouldn't put it up here for you guys. But I ended up coming up with a portable ozone delivery machine, and I cupped it with the stuff I have from the HOCATT, and I literally ozoned it, cupping it for like 3 days. And when he went back to the doctors, they were like, oh, it's healing up really great now, and And basically we ozoned the heck out of it until it started really coming together, because he had a pretty bad infection, gaping hole on his leg, couldn't walk, and now he can again. And it's healed up pretty good. So it definitely helps with wound healing. There are some contradictions for you though. If you've had heart issues, you have to have clearance from a cardiologist before I can actually put you in. If you've had any kind of, implants or anything like that. If you have high blood pressure, you kind of have to talk to me about how high, what's going on with that. I have had someone sign a release, wanted to go in because it does lower your blood pressure. So it depends on, kind of where you're at with that. Of course, if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, you can't do it because you can't detox while you're doing that. But if you've had surgeries or anything like that, it helps recover. It speeds up that recovery for you. So here's some more benefits. Like I was saying earlier, it inactivates viruses, bacteria, parasites, fungi, yeast. I talked about normalizing hormones and your enzymes. Definitely helps get rid of toxins. Puts all the oxygen in your tissues. It helps. I do have an Alzheimer's, a brain fog frequency. And my mom just actually passed away from that in August. So I wished I would have had this earlier for her, that she could have gotten into, because that's exactly what I would have put on her. It definitely helps your lymphatic system, open the detox pathways, purify your blood. The inflammation, I can attest to. The only reason my husband's not in here is because he's watching the generators outside so they don't disappear. But my husband, and they know, went from 206 pounds of inflammation, like his face, his body, the belly, everything. We thought it was all coming from the medication, the steroid medication he was having to take for the Addison's disease. And once we started doing this, completely changing to an alkaline, anti-cancer diet, he's down to 176 pounds. And it happened in a month. And it was really all inflammation that he was carrying, which we know, I'm sure that it's been spoken about that, inflammation breeds disease. So we can definitely attest to that. Like I said, it decreases blood pressure, and it strengthens and rejuvenates your whole immune system. So this is actually my husband. So the other thing is it actually helps with weight loss. So while you're sitting in there, you can actually I can tell you of some movements that you can do inside of the chamber. But it actually, even if you didn't do any kind of exercise in there or movement, it'll burn up to 600 calories for you, just sitting in there. It's actually, they use this, and I know this is spelled wrong when they did it, it's actually chronic prostatitis. It's very, very good for men that have chronic prostatitis or anything like that. It's been studied that, and you can go on YouTube and look it up if you'd like, that it really helps with that for men. So carbonic acid, most people are like, well, what is that? It's CO2. So we have a CO2 tank that is actually connected to the device. When you're in there, you're going to actually receive, for the first 3 minutes, that can change too, but initially it's the first 3 minutes. When you're sitting in the chamber, you feel the CO2 come into the chamber, and that is what actually dilates your pores, dilates your vessels, so that you can then, after 3 minutes, ozone is delivered into your body. So here are some of the things that it can help with. We kind of talked about this, where it irradiates the ultraviolet radiation that we've had. So we all get damage from that. just being out in the sun. The aromatherapy, even though, yes, it is not, scientifically proven, people want to utilize it. I have one lady that comes in and she actually had some functional testing done, which I believe is kind of like the systems that you guys use, that actually tells you which essential oil you can use for whatever you're dealing with. So I either tell them if I don't have what they need, just bring it and I'll make sure that I use it for them. But it definitely helps. It smells better too. Makes the whole thing smell better. So I don't know if any of you have heard about the cavitation. I don't know if any of you have been to any spas and have had that done. Most of the time those are like $30,000 machines. They put it on you, you lay there, you let it and give you 100,000, sit-ups, and this is a way that they do in these med spas now that help you get rid of your fat cells and lose weight and all that stuff. We had it in the med spa that we had this device in previously, but if you can get it all done in 30 minutes, why not just go in this and have the same thing happening? So, sports enhancement. This was something, I believe I gave you a flyer so you guys could read this a little bit better, but it definitely helps increase your performance. I don't know if you guys are into sports or if you have any athletes in your family, but it definitely helps with recovery. I used to be a competitive runner and always going like that and running all over the United States and stuff when I was doing it, and I would have to get the manual massages going afterwards, and then the ice baths came and all this, but now it definitely helps with your injuries and all of that. So it definitely peaks the performance for you. And I'm down in the West Palm Beach area right now. We have polo season. So one of the things that I've had is like they come right after, their equestrian events and their polo, and they've popped into, when I had it in the spa, they popped into the spa just to get a treatment to then go back and do so this is the season for that again, but now I'm going to basically take it to their field so they don't have to come in and they could just come and get it right inside the mobile unit we have now. So here's some of the benefits for athletes about oxygenating the tissue. It helps with your ATP production of the energy. You have faster recovery. Like I said, the lactic acid, I'm testifying to that one because I had it really, really bad. I mean, when they tested me, my lactic acid was like ridiculously high. And I couldn't even just take a walk on the beach and like I was like hurting so bad. So the swelling and all of any bruising or pain, injuries, it speeds up healing. Colds and flus and immunity, for sure that definitely does that. I have settings for flus and those other lovely viruses that we talked about. Hormone production, and it definitely eliminates the need for any kind of steroids and all that. So the hyperthermia, okay, that's part of the H of the HOCATT. Inhibits the bacteria and the virus multiplication, and it helps decrease tumors. So this is why a lot of like the cancer hospital down in Tijuana and them have used this to help these cancer patients that they have come in. And it definitely detoxes you. There's a little basin. So sometimes when people get out, there's like little flakes and they're dark or they're light. And they're like, what is that? And I'm like, heavy metals, most likely. You sometimes in the basin, most people don't see us clean it up. Most people don't look at what comes out the back. We do. So sometimes it's filmy, sometimes it's milky looking, sometimes it's got flakes in it, but it's definitely the toxins coming out. So And this is true. I thought this was cute. Most people have no idea how good their body is designed to feel. You know, God designed our bodies to feel good. He didn't design us to be sick, right? So we need to feel good for the end time, right? Okay, so how does it work? Well, it's 7 times more effective at detoxing the body and chelating the binding heavy metals than the conventional saunas. And instead of going and doing each different modality and having to pay for each different modality, you can do it all in one session. So it's pretty valuable for that. In the women's health, I knew this was kind of like one of the things. Here is some of the things for specifically women: hormones, gynecological issues, the skin, the collagen, elastin, your connective tissue, your texture reduces cellulite, weight loss. That's kind of everything that all of us complain about or want to change. But there is I believe that there is this sheet in there for you. So go ahead, take your first step improving your health. You can ask any questions you want later. You can reach me for a 15-minute free consultation at that phone number. You got it? And I thank you for allowing me to be here. It's my pleasure to be here. So.
Denise, can you go back? I didn't get that number.
Sure. It is a Google number connected to myself.
Is it on the paperwork?
It should be in there, yeah. It should be in there.
I like your name that you chose.
The Vibrant Mobile Health is what I chose. Like I said, you literally just need to go mobile, so.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you
You're
very
very
much.
welcome.